In this video, we are going to do glass stiletto nails with Neon Colors Acrylic Kit by Saviland, and I will share a story about a client being 8 hours late. Coming up. Hi there, I'm Anastasia and this is Saviland Acrylic Kit. It includes 10 colors of acrylic powder and I can already tell that those are neon and bright colors. Every jar has a protective seal, so you don't need to worry if anything may get spilled during shipping. Let's try the colors. As usual, you will see the numbers of these colors in the upper right corner, and we start with neon orange. By the way, in this kit, we have not just regular neon colors, but also glitter neons, which is so nice because I already have plenty of neon acrylic powders, but not the glitter ones. And here comes one of them, number 6, neon glitter pink color. Actually, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to use not just glitter colors, as I thought before, I'm probably going to combine them together. Glitter neon color with actual neon color. I think it's going to look great. We also have green, which is number 9, and this tan is beautiful purple. It reminds me of mermaid, I think, because of these accessories inside. I'm using acrylic products by Saviland for quite a while now, and most of their color acrylic powders are slow setting, which is nice if you prefer to work slowly or you're a beginner. And this is the entire collection, and I think I'm going to use almost all colors out of it. Let's get started. I just did the prep because we just took off the old product. Then I apply dehydrator on natural nails, wait until it's dry, and then I'm going to use acid primer. I recommend using acid primer only for acrylic systems. And if you're using acid primer, make sure that you do not apply too much, do not touch the skin, and also make sure it is dry before you proceed. I fit one of the longest forms that I have because we are going to do extra long stilettos, and I start with the clear. I will create the clear base and then add some colors. Let's get started with the story time. Since you guys enjoyed my previous story time videos, let's continue. We are going to talk about clients being late. I myself am a rather punctual person. I'm the one who will definitely show up one of the earliest. I've been the earliest who show up for interview, for the class, and I also have many friends. I actually have 2 sisters and they are always late, like always. It doesn't matter if it's like a serious meeting or we just decided to meet together in the cafe, they're just late. And I am fine with that, I'm understanding. I'm always planning things ahead and I understand that someone may show up late. That's why I always have something with me, whether it's my phone or Kindle or a book or some things I'm going to do while I'm waiting. But when it comes to client, being late is quite different because we have a schedule, right? So if one client is late, then it may mess up the entire schedule for the day. That's why I usually have a policy, 15 minutes max. And if someone is later than that, let's say 30 minutes late, I will simply not have enough time to do the entire service. But I still have a few regular clients who are among those people who are always late, and I actually adjusted to it. So there's one client and she is always late for about 20 to 30 minutes. And this is what I did. I simply book her at 2:30. Well, that's what she thinks. So she's booked at 2:30, but I know that she's going to show up around 3. So in my head, she's booked at 3 p.m. and it perfectly works for both of us. Meanwhile, I added some neon orange glitter to the center of the nail, and then I'm going to fill in some spaces, but not the entire nail, just some spaces with the regular neon orange powder. So this is going to look like an ombre, and part of the nail will be transparent because we used glitter. And yes, it's totally fine if you're using the consistency which is a little wet because we already have clear product underneath. And then we seal it all with a clear powder. Getting back to the story, with some clients, I just used to book them as my last appointment, which means there is no one after their appointment, so it will be fine. Well, I'm going to finish later, of course, but at least I will not be nervous that someone is waiting. Or I used to book another client usually before my lunch break. So these are, simple tricks I used for people being late, but like I said, when they were super late, like 1 hour or 2 hours, I simply suggested them to rebook. One time a client was super mad at me because I suggested to rebook because she was only 2 hours late, even though the entire service takes 2 hours. Anyways, after that story, I thought that no one will ever be able to break this record of 2 hours being late because I thought, 2 hours, that's a lot. But no, actually, there was another person who totally broke that record, and it wasn't a client, it was a model at our beauty school. We usually start our classes at 10, and this is the time when we book the models. And this is very common for models, for hand models, being late because sometimes they just need to find the building, then they need to find the entrance, and so on. So being late for 10 to 15 minutes was very common, and when this model didn't show up at 10 sharp, we didn't really feel that something is going to go wrong. So we call her at 10:20, and she picks up the phone and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm coming, like I'm on my way, I will be there soon." I didn't ask her when exactly she's going to be because, I just assumed if the person is on her way and is aware that we're waiting for her, like right now, she's probably 5, 10, 15 minutes max away, right? I also felt relieved because she actually picked up the phone, because when there are no show models, they usually do not pick up the phone or their phone is not working, so that means you need to urgently find someone else, and we actually have a backup plan for that. We know a few people who live nearby, so we usually contact them. We also have a list of backup models who we also start calling and ask if they're available for today to come because this another model unfortunately didn't show up. Like, this is also a very common situation. But since she picked up and assured us that she's coming, we were calm about it. It was 11 a.m. She's still not there, so we call her again and she picks up the phone, and I can hear that she's probably running or just walking too fast because her breath is very deep, and she's like, "Hey, I'm coming, like I'm sorry, I'll be there soon." And I also felt kind of uncomfortable, because she's probably running and we're just calling her, and I said, "Oh, sure, okay, like do not run, please walk carefully, we're waiting for you." And while we were waiting, other students were already working with their models, and this student who do not have a model, she was just sitting and waiting, chatting with other students or watching them work and so on, because we kind of knew that she's going to show up. Fast forward to 4 p.m., she's still not there. And yes, we called her, I believe, every hour, maybe every 2 hours. And every time she picked up the phone and was saying that, yes, she's coming. And of course, at some point we asked her, like, "Are you far? Like, how long do you think it's going to take you to get there? Because we're already waiting for quite a while." And she said, "Oh, sorry, I had to visit my friend first because she was in some kind of trouble, but now I'm on the way to your beauty school, like, do not worry." At this point, we felt frustrated because, like I said, we have a backup plan and we already could have called someone else instead of her. But since she was assuring us that she's coming, and at this point at 4 p.m., we actually told her, like, "Hey, if you're not coming, please just tell us. It's fine." And she said, No, I am coming. Like, please wait for me. I really want to do extensions today. Like, I need these nails." At this point, it already felt like some kind of reality show. Obviously, every single student, as well as other models, were just sitting there and waiting how this story is going to end, because they knew it from the beginning. And some people were like, oh no, she's definitely not coming. For some reason, she's just lying to you. While other part of the group were like, oh, she's definitely coming. Maybe she's in some sort of trouble, or she's having some personal issues. Meanwhile, the student who was expecting this model obviously was not doing any extensions, so I just gave her some tips, some plastic hands, so she can at least practice some product application. At 5 p.m. we called her again and she said she's coming, but honestly we didn't really believe that. So at this point I just tell the student like, hey, she's probably not going to come, I'm so sorry about the situation, let's just practice more until everybody finishes, which is usually around 7 p.m. and then at 7 we will just leave, and the next day you will be the first one who will get the model, so you will get more practice. And she was fine with that. At this point we stopped calling this model. I mean, obviously it's been too much. She was supposed to be there at 10 and it's already 5 and she's just not there. And guess what happens? At 6 p.m., when we thought the day is about to get finished, the model shows up. She just walks in and says, I'm sorry, I'm late. And the entire class, students and models, they were just silent because they just didn't really know how to react, because she was 8 hours late, 6 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. I told the students to do an overlay instead of extensions because we only had just 1 hour left, and guess what? This model was actually mad about it because she said, actually, I wanted extensions. But we did an overlay, obviously, because we just had 1 hour until 7 p.m. Meanwhile, I'm done with the set. Let me guys know what do you think about these glass stilettos and about clients being late. Are you the one who's always early or always late? And maybe you had some stories when someone was being ridiculously late. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave all the links to the products below as usual. And if this is your first time here on my channel, consider subscribing, as I post new nail art tutorials and new story times coming up soon every week. See you in my next one. Goodbye!